My name's Wolf. This poem is called Lips. As I rest on thoughts of her attenuated lips, I sink into whispers of the moon that speak of histories etched within the dwindling iris of forgotten loves. As I do within the mystifying ecstasies of death that draw us ever closer to its perilous breath. To imagine the taste of eternity at the cost of eternity, as I do on this Monday, mourning to summon a summer solstice in the reaches of my eyes held tightly closed to quell the frigid sting of winter winds that ravage my body. As I do before the calls of violent revolutions, to overthrow me in the corners of her smile, raise softly me to serve in the righteousness of her pieces. As I do in the moments of regret, as a reminder that there is beauty yet so timeless that clocks too stop to contemplate their purpose. As I do in her veils when I remember such blessings are reserved for more blessed men. In her attenuation, realms of perception fall to new genesis, and from its dust, a reality rooted in compassion, empathy, humility, restoration, in love, with a devotion so foolishly hopeful that the stars will bear witness to the entreaties pulsed in my veins, for future incarnations, a chance opportunity to reflect in her eyes the magic of her attenuated lips. Oh boy, where have I been? I don't know. I've been here. Here where? Not where you might find me. I've been here in my space right now. That space is, in a way, to illustrate sort of between a past and a future, an aspirational future. Isolated. Yeah. Staring off into a void, sort of between incarnations. And yeah, it's been a heck of a time. Changes. We all change. And I think that change is worth honoring. So I had to be sort of locked in this temporary purgatory, I suppose. And for the longest time, I didn't really know what I was doing or why I would opt to stay there. There's a couple reasons. One of them is because I'm waiting for a very particular thing. And I will continue to wait for that very particular thing. But the other reason was more of an intrinsic need, I think, to eventually, hopefully, one day, attain some modicum of inner peace. And again, I didn't know why. I haven't really been going anywhere. I haven't been socializing. Really, I haven't been creating anything. I don't leave the apartment unless I'm going to work or to get groceries or provisions of any sort. I don't go to the cafe to write. I don't go on that morning run. I don't go hang out in the park and observe. I don't take my camera out. I don't do nothing. Sometimes I'll sit on the balcony here and scribble some lyrics for a project I'm working on. But it's been difficult, and I would ask myself why is this important? And it's just caused me to reflect back when I was like a teenager. And there's some similarities there. That was after a major shift. At the time, the hardest point in my life, the darkest time. And I would lock myself into the room, my room, and I would long off into shadows cast by ceiling lamps or perhaps the sunset as it broke through the window. And I would get lost in myself, left with my demons and things like regrets or what ifs, wonderings, my own reflection. And that was difficult. That'd be like weeks, if not months at a time. And coming out of that, like, I wasn't suddenly happy, but I had to build a relationship with that pain. And it's not a loving relationship by any stretch, but I respect it. And so a year in now, longer than a year now, I sit in this void, and I realize that what I had to go through in this period, which was extremely difficult, very dark times, very close to some very extreme edges. Luckily, I had the right people at the right time with the right kind of support to keep me away from that. I had to develop a familiarity with all of this. I really didn't want to jump out of this sort of tragic shift and fill it with distractions and things, because I think that's trouble waiting to happen. I would much rather just sit with it and face it. It's my pain. These are my feelings anyway, so I want to understand them. Because otherwise you just get buried, and then any sort of extreme sort of response I would have had probably would have been worse. It was tough. It was a tough go, but that's what I was doing. So I think I'm getting there. I think I'm getting back to a point of familiarity with all of that, with all of the things that haunt me, that weigh heavily on my heart, which helps give me an idea of who I can be today. I don't know who I am. I'm Wolf, but I have no idea. I wouldn't sit here and define myself to you. I wouldn't do that to begin with, but I don't know. And when I say define myself to you, I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, you may as well be a mirror that I'm talking to. I don't know who you are anymore, but I'm looking forward to finding out.